So, are you thinking about maybe tapping into your home equity, to buy your next place? Especially with the market being what it is these days.
It's definitely a hot topic.
For sure. Well, we were just checking out this blog post from the Kombrink team, their real estate group, and it's all about this. Let me see. It's called The Benefits of Using Your Equity to Make a Bigger Down Payment.
Okay.
And get this, they posted it today, October 16th, 2024.
Oh, wow. So it's like fresh off the press.
Totally. Perfect timing.
It seems like everyone's talking about home equity these days. This blog post, it seems like it does a good job of kind of breaking down why.
Yeah, for sure. And they grab your attention right away. They start with this wild stat. The median down payment for homes in the U.S. just hit a record high.
Really?
$67,500.
Wow.
That's up almost 15% from last year.
That's a lot.
I know, right? It's kind of mind-blowing when you actually, think about it.
Yeah, it's a pretty staggering number. Actually, they have this graph. I think it's from Redfin in the blog post. And it really kind of hits home, You see how much these down payments have been climbing?
Yeah, that visual, I think it really drives the point home. Honestly, seeing those numbers, it made me a little uneasy at first. I was like, who has that kind of cash just lying around?
Right.
But then the article, it does this great thing. It totally debunks this myth that you need a massive down payment to even buy a house these days.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not like you need a winning lottery ticket to buy a home. There are definitely programs out there where you can put down as little as 3%, sometimes even zero down.
Seriously.
Yeah, in certain situations, you can do zero down.
That's such a relief to hear. Okay, so if you don't need a huge down payment, why are people choosing to go bigger? The article, it seems to suggest there are some major upsides to putting more down up front.
Exactly, yeah. And to understand why those upsides are so appealing right now, you kind of have to understand why we're seeing this trend of larger down payments in the first place.
Okay, yeah, let's connect those dots. What's fueling this whole thing?
Well, in a nutshell, I think it's equity. Think about it. Over the past 5 years, home prices have gone up, significantly?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's been great news for homeowners because it's translated to a huge jump in their home equity. So now when they go to sell, they're often sitting on, a sizable chunk of change. And what do they do with it? Often they turn around and use it for a larger down payment on their next property.
Ah, okay.
So it's like a snowball effect.
So it's not like everyone suddenly has tons of extra cash. It's more like their homes are working for them financially.
Precisely. That's the power of equity. And that's why this whole topic is so relevant right now, whether you're thinking about selling, buying for the first time, or just trying to wrap your head around this crazy market.
Yeah. Knowledge is power, they say. Okay, so we've established that people are making bigger down payments these days, largely thanks to this surge in home equity. But why exactly is that a good thing? What are the specific benefits, that the article calls out?
Well, the blog post highlights 4 main advantages.
Oh.
And they all come back to this idea that putting more money down at the start can save you a significant amount over the long haul. Think of it as an investment in your financial future.
All right, I'm intrigued. Let's break down these benefits. Hit me with number 1.
Okay, the first one is pretty straightforward. Basically, you borrow less, which means you save money on interest over the life of your loan. It's basic math. A smaller principal equals less interest paid over time.
Okay, so less money going to the bank, more money staying in your pocket. I like how that sounds. What's up next on the list of perks?
So the second benefit is that you might be able to snag a lower mortgage rate.
Oh.
When you make a larger down payment, you're essentially telling lenders, look, I'm financially stable and less risky. And lenders love that because it means they're taking on less risk by lending to you. So they might reward you with a lower interest rate, which can translate to major savings over the life of your loan.
It's like you're getting a gold star from the bank for being financially responsible.
Exactly. And that brings us to the third benefit, smaller monthly payments.
Okay, now we're talking lower monthly payments are always a win.
Right. Think about it. With the larger down payment, you're borrowing less overall. That means your monthly mortgage payments will likely be lower, giving you a little more breathing room in your budget.
More breathing room in the budget. I am here for it. Okay, what's the fourth perk? This one has got to be good.
Okay, get ready for this. The fourth perk is the possibility of saying bye-bye to private mortgage insurance, or PMI.
Okay, PMI, I've heard that term thrown around a lot, but I'll admit I'm not entirely sure what it is. Can you break it down for me and our listeners who might be in the same boat?
Absolutely. The blog post actually does a great job explaining this. They quote Freddie Mac's definition, which I think is super helpful. Basically, PMI is an extra insurance policy that lenders require when a borrower puts down less than 20% of the home's value. And here's the kicker. It protects the lender, not the homeowner, in case the borrower can't make their mortgage payments.
So it's like a safety net for the lender, but it doesn't really benefit the homeowner directly.
Exactly. And that's why avoiding PMI can be such a huge financial win. By putting down 20% or more upfront, you can often eliminate the need for PMI entirely, which could potentially save you hundreds of dollars each month.
Wow, hundreds of dollars a month. That adds up fast. It's like this hidden bonus when you make a larger down payment. Not only are you potentially getting a better interest rate, but you might also sidestep this added expense altogether.
It's a win-win, and those savings can really accumulate over time, giving you more financial flexibility down the road. But it's not just about the immediate financial benefits. Let's zoom out for a second and think about the bigger picture of home equity.
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
What's really interesting is how this whole conversation ties back to that surge in down payment amounts we talked about earlier. It's not a coincidence it's happening because homeowners have more equity at their disposal than ever before. And by tapping into that equity strategically, they're able to unlock all of these amazing financial advantages.
It's like this chain reaction. Rising home prices lead to more equity, which then gives homeowners more buying power and the potential to secure better loan terms. But I imagine this can all feel pretty overwhelming, especially for first-time home buyers or anyone who hasn't been following the market super closely.
You're not wrong. It's a lot to digest, but that's what's so great about having this information. It empowers you to make informed decisions that are right for your unique situation.
Absolutely. So for our listener who's been listening intently, maybe even taking notes, what's the biggest takeaway here?
That's a great question. I think the most important takeaway is this. Understanding your own equity situation is key. Whether you already own a home or you're dreaming of owning one someday, knowing how much equity you have or how much you could build is absolutely crucial for making smart financial choices down the road.
I love that. It's about taking control of your financial future.
Mm.
So let's say I'm a homeowner right now. What are some things I should be thinking about based on all of this?
Well, if you're a homeowner, now's the perfect time to see how much your home's value may have gone up and what that means for your equity, thinking about selling. This could be a great time to use that equity for a bigger down payment on your next dream home. And even if you're not planning on moving anytime soon, understanding your equity situation could open up other doors, like the possibility of refinancing to snag a lower interest rate.
It's like that equity is giving you options.
Yeah.
But what about folks who are hoping to buy their first home? What's the most important thing they should take away from this conversation?
For aspiring homeowners, understanding the ins and outs of down payments and equity can be a total game changer when it comes to long-term financial planning. Knowing that even a small bump in your down payment can have a ripple effect on your interest rate, your monthly payments, and whether or not you have to deal with PMI can be incredibly motivating.
It's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket. You're not just wandering through the world of mortgages. You're informed and ready to make strategic moves.
Exactly. And speaking of strategic moves, there's one more point from the article that I think is worth highlighting. It really stuck with me.
I'm all ears. Lay it on me.
Yeah, it's this idea of financial stability that I think the article really emphasizes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it talks about how a larger down payment, it can kind of signal to lenders that you're, financially responsible, less likely to default on your loan, mitigating risk from their perspective.
Right, like you're showing them you're not just like scraping by. You're coming in. You're in a good place.
Exactly. And that got me thinking, it's not even just about the numbers themselves. It's kind of about the message those numbers send.
Yeah.
A larger down payment can kind of be seen as a sign of, financial discipline and preparedness.
Totally. It's like you're saying, hey, I've got this. Like, I'm serious about this investment.
Exactly. It shows you've thought about the long term and you're not just, jumping into things without a plan.
Which, can make all the difference in a competitive market like we have today, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. When lenders are looking at, multiple offers, those who can demonstrate greater financial stability are definitely more likely to, catch their eye.
Totally. It's like you're standing out from the crowd being like, hey, I'm a safe bet. You can trust me with this loan.
Exactly. And that trust is, invaluable in the world of finance.
It really is. This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. We've covered so much ground, like record-breaking down payments, the mystery of PMI, and of course, the incredible power of home equity.
It's been fun. It's been a pleasure kind of exploring these concepts with you.
So before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with something to ponder, something that kind of builds on everything we've discussed and takes it like a step further.
Okay, I like it.
So we've talked about how, leveraging equity can help you get a better loan, potentially save you money, even make you a stronger buyer in the market. But what about the bigger picture? How can, truly understanding home equity impact your overall financial well-being, not just when it comes to, buying or selling a house?
No, that is a fantastic question, and one that I encourage every listener to really consider. Your home is most likely your most valuable asset, and knowing how to leverage its equity effectively can open up so many doors, from, funding your children's education to securing a comfortable retirement.
It's true. It's like your home isn't just a place to live. It can really be like a powerful financial tool.
Exactly. And with that knowledge, with that shift in perspective, you can really start making informed decisions that set you and your family up for, long-term financial success.
Love it. So there you have it, deep divers. We've reached the bottom of this Equity Pact episode. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding how to leverage your home equity is one of the smartest financial moves you can make.
Couldn't agree more.
Until next time, happy diving.